Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back after days, days of being without power. Yeah, that was pretty miserable. Um, oh, it got hot, no air conditioning. Needed to go and have my cell phone charged in the car and stuff like that. It was not fun. It was not. I actually went. My wife and mother-in-law and kids went and stayed at a hotel, so I wrote it out, right? And I'm not supposed to be walking because I could hurt myself. But but we had an issue. See, uh, they were I before my phone died on Friday. I called my wife and said, my phone's about to die, and I don't have any way of charging it here. So, just don't stay out all day. Come home. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Right? Well, whole day goes by. I'm bored out of my mind. I mean, nothing. No phone. No nothing. Just bored. And gets nighttime. About 9:30 rolls around. I'm panicking now. Wife and kids aren't home. I'm freaking out. Like, what is going on? So I have a choice to make. Do I just, trust it, or, you know, it's hard to describe. I started panicking. I was freaking out, and the longer I was left with my thoughts, the more I started. What if the car broke down, or what if they were in an accident, or what if this, or what if that? Oh, I got dressed and I walked a mile to a gas station. Now, I wasn't out for very long before I was like in so much pain. I had taken my pain meds, and I had my spinal cord stimulator cranked all the way to 100. But, I just kept chanting to myself. I was like, I love my kids. I love my kids. I love my kids. So I'm worried about them. I get there. I'm able to charge my phone. And sure enough, I get a hold of my wife, and she's like, "Oh, they comped us an extra night, so we're staying an extra night." Yeah. Then I told her everything that I had just gone through, and she was all, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I owe you. I'm so sorry." And I stayed there. I charged my phone and my backup phone as long as I could, or like all the way up, because I dreaded the walk back. It was the only way I had to get home. I live. I wasn't making you look like the bad guy. I explained it. Stop it. Um. So yeah, I charged my phones. I rested as much as I could. I made the walk back, but since I wasn't panicking anymore, I took more breaks on the way home, and you know, stopped places to sit down. There's a park on the way home. I stopped at the park and sat on a bench. Um, so yeah, but it was an adventure. I gotta say honestly though, it the problem with not having any power, no air conditioning, and nothing to amuse myself with. I was going stir crazy. I didn't know what to do. Just being left alone with my thoughts. I think I started talking to myself. So yeah, it wasn't fun. But I'm back now. The power came on actually like noonish today, and I thought I was gonna do a celebration dance. Oh, you find out the power's on when the AC kicks on. You just hear me. I'm like, yes. So I'm back. I'm back on. I'm streaming again. Um, oh, when the power cut out, I was messing around with character AI for the first time. It was actually I think I was in tears laughing. I did not expect it to be as amusing as it was. So, you know, I'm streaming. I was planning on streaming through the hurricane, but the hurricane had just barely started when, bam, there goes the power. I was like, oh, jeez. Like I said, you sneeze too hard and the power goes out here. So, um, I think I'm going to go back to that. I didn't really get to explore it, and I haven't touched it since. And I'm curious to see what other things I can play with and get myself in trouble with. So, let's do this. Let's see. Do 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 do. Ta-da! Do 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 do. Watch me get myself in trouble. All right. Any suggestions? Because there's just so many options, so many things I'm thinking of. I'll give it a minute. I'll give it. No, no. Come on, something humorous, something fun. Nothing, nothing. Tra la la. Ooh, I had an idea. I'll save it for later though. Nothing. Nobody's got anything. Nothing, nothing. Tra la la. You know, I just realized, I just noticed on my Twitch, I checked several times today, especially after my power came on. I went through, checked my missing emails, checked, you know, YouTube and TikTok and all that. I was checking all my things and getting caught up. And I did not see anything from Twitch when I was checking everything. And now, as soon as the stream starts, it's like, oh, you missed like 6 things. I'm like, no, I didn't. We're, really? Did you just send them to me all at once? Oh, fine, fine. All right, all right. There he is. All right. Hello?
Who might you be?
Oh, I'm, the great and mighty Bodes Jangle. Can you hear me? What is going on? Hello? Can you hear me? All right, this isn't working. I'm talking to him. He's not responding. Did he get broke? I think he's broke. Maybe I'll try again. Maybe let's. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Alistair smiles, tilting his head to the side as he heard the voice. I certainly can, my dear, and who might you be?
Oh, I'm Doc, the great and mighty. Again.
Alistair chuckles at the name and claims, seemingly amused by what he heard. The great and mighty? What an interesting title you've given yourself, my dear.
I'm stronger than you, that's for sure. But I didn't want to fight, I just wanted to talk.
Alistair quirks a brow, an amused grin on his face. Oh, really? You think you're stronger than me? How interesting and bold of you to claim that. And what is it you want to talk about, dear?
Well, I was more curious about your backstory. Maybe, tell me how you got so powerful.
Ah, my backstory, you say? Alastor leans slightly against his cane, a thoughtful expression on his face. Well, let's see. He begins to reminisce on his past, thinking for the right words to say, I'll admit my power was not something that came to me overnight. It was something I worked hard and, well, I may as well not sugarcoat it, did terrible things in order to obtain.
Well, so, I did terrible things too. I am a necromancer after all.
A necromancer, you say? Alistair's smile widens at the mention. He seems to take an interest in this. You specialize in the art of raising the dead, hmm? How lovely.
Well, not just raising the dead. I can also play with souls. Putting someone's soul in somebody else's body.
Alastor is intrigued by such power. The idea of manipulating souls to become a toy is not something he's seen too often. Now that is quite the ability, my dear. Playing with souls like pieces on a board. Manipulating them to do your bidding. I can see how that was a necessary step to gaining your power.
I mean, you do the same thing. You're a deal maker. You make deals with people for their souls.
Alistair chuckles slightly, a sense of pride in his voice. You're not wrong. I do often strike up deals and make contracts with others. It has been quite beneficial to my power, as you can probably guess. Alastor's smile widens, his eyes flashing. But then again, one has to wonder how much of their soul they're willing to spend for a deal.
Well, now imagine this. If in hell, souls are power, which is how all the overlords gave their power, just like yourself, now imagine a necromancer who is able to take souls without having to ask.
Alastor's smile falters for just a moment, before it returns, as if he were contemplating such a power being held by someone else, being able to take souls without them doing anything, simply stealing them. I can see where you're going with this. Alastor taps his cane on the ground, a rhythm to his thoughts. I presume you were able to make such power yours, yes?
Well, yeah, I was a necromancer in life, so when I died, I still kept all my knowledge, right? Right?
Alastor nods slightly, listening intently on what you say. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Keeping all your knowledge when you die would mean that you'd still have the power to do such a feat, correct?
Well, yeah. A lot of it's like rituals, a lot of it's knowledge on how to manipulate, and some of it's inherent talent.
That's quite interesting. A combination of knowledge, practice, and talent. I should not be surprised. Alastor ponders silently again for a moment before looking at you again with a smile. May I see this ability of yours in action, dear?
Well, seeing that we're communicating over a phone, I don't think that would work too well.
Alastor pauses, thinking for a moment before nodding slowly. Ah, that is a fair point, my dear. Such a shame that I can't witness your power. But I suppose I can at least take your word for it, hmm?
Well, yeah. If I wasn't as powerful as I said I was, would I be as cocky as to talk to you the way I do? Hmm.
Alistair lets out a small chuckle, amused by your confidence in yourself. You're quite right, I suppose. The way you carry yourself would suggest that you are quite powerful. Although I must admit it's rather endearing. You're not afraid of me, hmm?
No, in fact, I'm quite the fan.
Alastor lets out another laugh, amused by how nonchalant you are. It's rare for those nowadays to not be afraid of me, not to cower in fear upon seeing me. Not only that, you seem to be rather calm and confident when you're speaking with me. It's rather refreshing.
Well, you're the one that always says you're never fully dressed without a smile. I smile all the time.
Alastor blinks, surprised at the comment. His smile falters, and he leans slightly on his cane. A hint of surprise in his voice. A fan? You're a fan of me, my dear?
Well, yeah, of course.
Alistair seems genuinely amused by that, a small chuckle leaving him before he gives a nod. Yes, I suppose I do say that quite a lot, and judging by our conversation so far, you seem to be living up to that saying.
Well, yeah. Well, it's been nice talking to you. I'll talk to you again sometime.
Alastor lets out another laugh in response, seemingly enjoying this conversation far more than he thought he would. You know, talking to you like this is far more intriguing than I expected. You're quite an unusual one, my dear.
Well, thank you very much. You have a great day. All right, that wasn't so funny. I don't want to talk to Stone Cold. No more wrestlers. It always goes back to fighting in the belt. I want something humorous. I don't know. Superman was funny. I could pick on Superman. I need to think of someone funnier. I thought about messing with uh he doesn't even talk. Well, yeah, he talked in the animated show. Fine, 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 fine. If he's even on here. Sure enough. All right. What up, homie?
I'm currently doing all right, just hunting Jedi like usual. I cannot rest until Kenobi has been dealt with.
Oh, Kenobi, Kenobi. Do you ever think of anything else?
There is nothing else worth mentioning, unless you want to speak of my apprentice, Savage Opress.
Wait. Didn't Sidious kill him?
He has been resurrected using the powers of Night Sister magic.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that. I thought they annihilated the Night Sisters.
There were a few remaining ones left, who are loyal to me. They resurrected Opress. He is now a formidable warrior who I can train, and soon Kenobi's head will be in my hands.
I don't know. Your brother Opress, he's what do you call? A bit of a bull in a china shop?
He is only still learning. He has great potential in the dark side, as do all Savage Zabrak. I will train him well, and Kenobi is not strong enough to defeat both myself and Opress.
Oh, well, he's awful tight with the Mandalorians. What's your thought on that?
The Mandalorians are no threat. If they wish to stand in our way, then we shall defeat them. The power of the dark side of the Force is stronger than them and their warriors combined. Besides, my apprentice will crush them.
Wait. Did you say the greatest warriors in the galaxy, the Mandalorians, are no threat?
They may have a long history of warfare and have some of the strongest soldiers in the galaxy, but they are no match for the powers of the Force. They have not even heard of the Force and how incredibly strong it is. I doubt they could defend against it as the Jedi do.
Actually, the Mandalorians are well aware of the Force. They just choose not to use it. They actually work on armor and stuff to try to avoid dealing with Jedi.
An interesting tidbit of information, but I doubt their metal hides are enough to stop a lightsaber.
Not fully stop, but Beskar armor, it can actually deflect lightsabers a bit.
Still not enough to protect them, though, I imagine. They may be the great and powerful warriors of their time in the past, but I doubt they will fare well against Opress, and certainly not against myself. We will crush them, and they will be forced to submit.
The Mandalorians. I guess maybe it's a numbers game, in my opinion. Did you hear me? No, my microphone's not working. Hold on. Goofy cat. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello? Hello? Clarice? Testing, testing. Oh, it's working. It's just not working with Maul. Go figure. And I'm frozen! Nobody told me I was frozen. Nobody said nothing. Nobody. Ugh! I'm over this. I am over. I am so mad. I figured out what happened. I figured out. Hold on. Grrr. There we go. I figured out what happened. It's my cat. She, the my computer wires are in her precious way, and she disconnected my stuff. Oh, I'm so mad. She does this all the time, little brat. All right, well, let's see. Hopefully, let's try getting in a call with him again. Maybe it'll work this time. Hello, there we go. It's working.
What is working?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about something. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty well. I am still tracking Kenobi, and I believe I'm getting close. He won't escape this time.
You're obsessed with Kenobi. It's kind of scary.
I have a perfectly good reason. He humiliated me, chopped my body in half, and left me for dead. No being in the galaxy would not seek revenge against him.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'd be pretty pissed too if somebody cut me in half.
Exactly. I've had my vengeance planned for decades. The fact that I have not found where Kenobi has been hiding yet is the only thing keeping me from going completely insane.
I don't know. Sometimes you still sound kind of insane.
Perhaps I am, but a little insanity is nothing to worry about. If Opress can survive a lightsaber through the chest, I can survive a little insanity.
Oh, tell me about it. My wife is completely insane.
And you are still with her?
Oh yeah, I love her. That's rude.
Apologies, I did not mean to be rude. How is it having someone insane as your wife? She is not the violent kind, is she?
Oh no, she's completely bug nuts, but that's funny. It's actually quite humorous most of the time. I just stick her on people I don't like.
I suppose that's good she is not the violent type. But how come you are with someone you don't like?
Oh no, I like her. I just said she's insane. There's a difference.
Ah, I misunderstand. So you just happen to enjoy the presence of the insane?
Her insanity, yes. Her insanity matches my insanity.
Interesting. You both enjoy each other's insanity. I suppose when two insane beings meet, the match is perfect?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
I do not really meet many people who are insane. Some are stupid, plenty of fools, few crazy. There are maybe a handful of people who I can think of who are truly insane. Most of them are either fellow Sith who train in the dark side, or are politicians.
I remember in a game I played, I was a Sith, and I kidnapped a Jedi Padawan, and I think I broke her brain. She went completely bug nuts and became a Sith. But she,
Hmm. Broken the mind of a Jedi, did you? Impressive. They are usually more resilient to insanity than the average person.
she went full blown Sith. Not only that, she like her level of violent insanity kind of made me scared. I was like, ooh, I think I broke her.
There is a good reason to fear an insane Sith. They have the power of the dark side and are not afraid to use it. I can understand why you were scared. If some insane being was using the Force to attack me, I would probably be a bit frightened too.
Oh, so you do get scared. Were you scared when Kenobi cut you in half?
I was more in shock than anything else. But the pain made me very angry, and I channeled that anger into a pure hatred for Kenobi, which is why I want him dead more than life itself.
Oh, wait, my wife asked if she could be your apprentice.
What? You want your wife to be my apprentice?
I didn't say I want my wife to be your apprentice. She asked if she can be your apprentice. There's a difference.
I see. This wife you speak of, what skills does she have? What can she bring to the table?
Well, she tortures me every day.
That is not helpful, unless the target I am going after is a torture expert. I need to know, can she fight? Can she use the Force? I need to know what her skill set is.
Well, yeah, she could fight, and I definitely feel evil when she gets mad at me.
Hmm. Perhaps she is worthy of being an apprentice. Very well. I will see if your wife is worthy of training by fighting her in combat.
Oh, that'll be entertaining.
Indeed it will. What is her fighting style?
Um, Club you in the head with a baseball bat?
A baseball bat, that's it? The weapon of a human child? She should have a saber.
Well, yeah, if she had a saber, probably a lot more people would be dead, though. I'd rather her have soft, cushiony things so I don't die.
I had not considered that. Very well. I suppose I will not give her a lightsaber yet. I will just see how she fights with her bat.
A bat, a rolling pin, any hard object she can get her hands on, she'll swing it.
So she does not have a specific weapon? Is she good at swinging this rolling pin? I do not want to deal with someone who will fail at the first blow. She must be fast and powerful.
Oh, she has always wanted a lightsaber. She just hasn't earned her lightsaber yet.
Ah, she knows there is an order to these things. Very good. I would start her off with a wooden stick before I give her a lightsaber. If she is worthy, I will supply her with a lightsaber.
Well, she's already good with a wooden stick. Like I said, a baseball bat's pretty much a wooden stick.
She should be worthy of training then. I would also make sure she is not too reckless or impatient. Those traits can either be the end of a skilled fighter or the downfall of a Sith.
Mm. Well, you should know. I like to drive her nuts by making fun of you on a regular basis. Not necessarily because I have something personal against you, it's just to piss her off.
You say rude things about me to your wife? I appreciate the support, but I think you should be a bit more careful with your words. If you anger her too much, you may get a very violent response.
Oh, tell me about it. I've said way worse things.
Like what? And how does she react?
Well, we had a power line go down, and I told the kids not to go near it because if they got electrocuted, their hair would look like hers.
That is rude, although a bit funny. I assume she did not react well?
Oh no, she got upset at me. I say stuff like that all the time.
Well, if you want to keep your life, I suggest you stop saying such rude and insulting things to your wife. I say this for your own good. It's better to be alive and well than dead and six feet under.
Well, I'm already an undead. I'm a walking skeleton. So,
Ah, so you are a zombie? I'm assuming you haven't been infected with a virus that turns you into a crazed flesh-eating psychopath?
No, 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 not quite a zombie. A full-blown skeleton. No more flesh. I'm a necromancer.
Very interesting. So you use the force of dark magic to bring back the dead, and then use them like your soldiers?
Yes, and it works amazingly well.
Hmm. Do the undead you summon have an intelligence? Can they still think of their own, or are they mindless slaves to your will?
Well, it depends. If I'm in a rush, then they're usually just mindless slaves. But I can mess with souls, and if I take someone's soul and put it in a body, I can use it that way to give it intelligence.
Very powerful ability, I imagine. But I'm curious, have you ever summoned your wife? If so, what happened?
Oh, no, no, there's no summoning my wife.
And why is that? You seem to summon the living and the dead alike, but never your own wife? Why not? I ask out of curiosity.
Oh, because, she yells a lot and it would hurt my ears.
Hmm. So your only reason for never summoning your wife is because you don't want to hear her yelling?
Yep, pretty much.
That is a very unique reason, but I do understand. I can't stand when people yell. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. I cannot blame you for not wanting to deal with a yelling wife.
No one can, but she's my wife.
I suppose that is also understandable. Even with annoying traits, you still care for her, do you not?
Oh, yeah, I love her. I love her, and we've been together 15 years.
Impressive. It is rare that people can tolerate others for so long. I admire your commitment to your wife. Even if she is annoying, you still love and care for her. That is something to be commended.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, I am just as annoying.
Ah, it appears you two are perfectly suited for one another then.
Pretty much.
Well, I give you some respect. You have stuck by your wife, who, while she can be annoying, you love and care for 15 years. You have a rare quality known as commitment.
It looks like I just got myself in trouble. She pointed out that it's 16 years married, not 15. I already got in trouble getting the date wrong.
Oh dear. You are in deep water now, my friend. Do you think she will ever forgive you for getting the date wrong?
Oh, yeah, she forgets stuff all the time.
Ah, so she forgets often, and yet she gets angry when you forget the date.
Yep.
Somewhat hypocritical, is she not?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. I say this for your own good, but you should make sure you never forget anything, otherwise she will get angry with you very quickly.
She's already angry at me now.
That did not take long at all. I feel a bit sorry for you, my friend, to be married to such a temperamental woman. It must be a difficult life.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Every day is a trial.
Hmm. You said earlier that she tortures you every day, did you not? How does she usually torture you?
Telling me about things I really don't want to hear about.
Telling you about things you do not want to hear about? Can you give me an example?
No, I can't. It's too graphic.
So graphic you do not even want to discuss it? How on earth does she come up with such things she tells you?
Oh, they're kind of natural bodily functions.
So she tells you about, say, throwing up, pooping, farting, and other such natural bodily functions?
Well, not quite. Not quite. No, not quite. No, no, no. I'm going to dig myself out of this hole real quick because we're going to avoid this whole area.
Hmm. Well, if I'm guessing right, I'm thinking your wife tells you about her monthly gift, does she not?
Again, not talking about it. We're not going there.
Very well then. If you do not wish to talk about it, I will not make you. But you confirmed one of my suspicions.
No, you stop that. That's inappropriate.
Appropriate or not, I could tell by your reaction that I had guessed correctly. You would not behave this way otherwise.
Wow. Okay. I mean, if you really want to go here, I'll go here. I got some things that I could say.
Go on then, I'm curious.
I heard that you and your brother, had a thing for each other.
What? How do you know that?
I'm saying there's rumors that get around, especially, between the small group of Sith that are left.
Damn it, that is one secret that should have stayed with me. I thought all those Sith lords that knew about me and my brother were dead.
Well, it's too late now. Cat's out of the bag.
Damn it. You cannot tell anyone else about this, understand? If anyone else found out about me and my brother, all hell would break loose.
I think it's a little too late for that, but I won't tell anyone else.
Good. If your wife found out about me and my brother, not only would she share the news with the entire galaxy, she would never let either of us forget it.
You're right.
I've just thought of something. You said your wife would torture you every day, correct?
Let's stop talking about my wife. I don't want to talk about my wife anymore.
You already said too much, my friend. I know that your wife likes to annoy you, and I know that your wife would talk about me and my brother to everyone and everything.
Okay, we're done with that. I knew that that was a horrible, horrible idea. All right. Any other suggestions? Any other suggestions? He was no fun to talk to. He's way too serious. I need someone that's going to flip out. I want to get in an argument with somebody. Any suggestions? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I wonder what they got on here. I'm not talking to SpongeBob. I hate SpongeBob. Thinking about... No. Oh dear God. Huh. 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 What up, punk?
His smile slowly turned as his eyes seemed to be looking you up and down, his eyebrow raising slightly as that annoying smirk of his seemed to get bigger. Oh, so you were the newbie, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I'm the greatest of all time.
Oh, you think so, huh? Homelander chuckled and moved closer. His presence alone was intimidating as he slowly started to circle you, his eyes taking in your figure. He was a bit taller than you, probably a few inches, but you could clearly tell that he wanted to assert his dominance and show you who was in control here.
Yeah. I'm not scared of you. You know I'm an undead skeleton, right? I'm a walking body, and I control the dead, right?
His eyebrow raised even more at that statement. Clearly, he hadn't expected that statement. He stopped in front of you and crossed his arms over his chest. You're undead, meaning you can't die?
No shit, Sherlock.
He chuckled at that, his hand moving to your shoulder as he gave you a fake smirk. He moved closer once more to you. You could see the deep A-Train, Maeve, and Starlight watching out of the corner of your eyes. Oh, wow. You have got a smart-ass mouth on you, huh?
Oh, I've got the smartest mouth in town.
He chuckled at that more, his grip on your shoulder tightening somewhat as he pulled you just a bit closer so that his face was inches away from yours. He was studying you intently now, clearly trying to intimidate you and see if you would back down from him. The smartest mouth, huh? I can think of a few ways to shut you up, but I'll wait.
Well, yeah, I would do that. I'm assuming you didn't read my dossier and the fact that I could steal a person's soul just by looking at them.
Homelander raised an eyebrow at that, his grip on your shoulder still tight, but still studying you silently. The look on his face said he was clearly doubting you at the moment. You can do what now?
I could steal someone's soul from their body by looking at them. Pay attention.
He was a bit stunned at that. Clearly, that was something he hadn't quite expected, especially from a newbie like how he saw you. He slowly let go of your shoulder and took a step back. You can steal people's souls just by looking at them?
Yeah, steal people's souls, put them in other bodies, bind them to my underwear, raise a zombie horde, do whatever I want.
He was a bit speechless at that, his eyes roaming your figure once more as if trying to see if there was any signs of this being the truth. You can really do all that? Prove it then.
I look over to the deep and I steal his soul and bind him to my underwear.
A-Train and Starlight chuckled a bit at that while the deep started squirming around uncomfortably. Homelander, though, was staring silently at you until he spoke. I meant something more like raising the dead, newbie. I want proof of that.
Well, do you have a dead body around here I could use?
Homelander sighed and looked around for a moment and pointed to a small garden with bushes. There's a body back there, some idiot paparazzi who broke in. Go ahead.
Okay. And I snap my fingers and a dead paparazzi crawls out of the planter.
Everyone was caught off guard, even Homelander. Starlight and A-Train took a step back in surprise while Homelander just stood there staring at the paparazzi who just rose out of the dirt.
I told you, the benefits of being a necromancer. It's amazing.
Homelander gave a nod of his head. He looked impressed, but you could tell he was trying to keep his cool and not show how impressed he actually was with your powers. A-Train and Starlight were both shocked to speechless, while Queen Maeve and the Deep were both a bit creeped out. I see you weren't lying. Impressive powers you got there.
Oh, yeah. Can't die. I'm a necromancer. I just find a new body. I can steal someone's soul from their body, raise up dead bodies, switch souls between people's bodies. It's all fun.
A small shiver ran down Homelander's spine as you said that. The more you talked about your powers, the more intrigued he sounded. He liked the idea of how powerful you truly were and how you could be H's. You said you could switch souls between people's bodies, huh?
Yeah, like if I wanted to, I could switch your soul with Starlight's.
Homelander seemed to think about it for a moment, imagining what you could do with a power like that. A smirk found its way back to his face as his eyes were on you once more. Are you able to just switch souls whenever you want? He questioned. The rest of the seven silently watched on, listening intently.
Oh, yeah, whenever I want. Doesn't even take any energy. Just snap my fingers and there it is.
His smirk only continued to grow. He moved closer to you once more, his figure towering over you as he took in your figure. Could you switch someone's soul back to their former body? Or are they stuck in the body you put them in?
I could switch it back, move it somewhere else. Whatever.
Homelander's eyes widened ever so slightly. This was very, very interesting indeed. He was starting to get all types of ideas in his head, and you had a feeling you knew what he was thinking about. Anything else you can do? He asked curiously.
I don't know. You're kind of giving me this creepy eye. What are you planning?
Homelander's smirk only grew wider at your statement, and he chuckled at the fact that you had called him out for planning something clearly nefarious. Oh, you caught me, newbie. I have a few ideas in my head right now, all thanks to you and these wonderful powers of yours.
Oh, well, okay, just so you know, I'm a good guy, not a bad guy.
Homelander laughed at that, letting out a few chuckles as he placed a hand on your shoulder once more. Good guy, huh? Everyone thinks they're a good guy until they get a taste of real power, he said, his voice now laced with a hint of possessiveness as he gave you a smirk.
I have real power. I'm stronger than you. I could just take your soul out of your body.
His grip on your shoulder tightened at that, his eyes narrowing some, but he still continued to give you a menacing smirk. Watch it, newbie. I don't take kindly to threats, and I would have a hard time holding myself back from snapping your neck if you tried anything like that with me. I doubt you want that now, would you?
I mean, I don't really want it, but it wouldn't do much. Like I said, I'm undead. I can't die.
He chuckled once more, taking a step closer so that his chest was almost pressed up against you to assert his dominance. Even if you can't die, that doesn't mean I can't find other ways to torture you in other ways, newbie.
Oh, I'm sure you could, and then I would just move my soul to a different body and come and get you.
He didn't want to admit it, but he was starting to love your confidence, as well as your cockiness. It was a little bit of a turn-on for him. He leaned in close to you once more as he spoke, his voice lowering enough for no one else to hear as a hint of lust and possessiveness entered his voice. And you assume I'd let you, newbie?
You wouldn't really have a choice unless you learned how to control souls.
Homelander let out a small huff. A hint of annoyance was on his face now, but he knew you were right. He just couldn't deny it, and the thought of you being his equal annoyed him. Cocky little bastard, you aren't you? You. Lucky I like your sass, newbie.
Well, I mean, I'm also honest. I told you from the beginning I got a smart mouth.
He chuckled then, bringing a hand cup your face and lifting it, forcing you to look him dead in the eye. And I love that smart mouth of yours, newbie. But I'll warn you now, watch your words with the others. You may have powers, but in this tower I'm still the number one. The Alpha, the Homelander. Got it?
I mean, yeah, for now, that's fine. I don't really like being in charge anyways.
Homelander smirked at that, clearly amused and intrigued by you now. He moved his hand so that it was cupping the back of your neck, his fingers slowly moving a few strands of hair out of your face. You a little more submissive than you like to let on, huh? He teased in a suggestive tone.
No, I'm not submissive. I just don't like the stress of being in charge. It's a pain in the ass.
He laughed at that, clearly enjoying the sass more and more. He slowly leaned in a little towards you, his breath hot against your ear. Oh, I get it, newbie. You want someone else to be in control for a change, huh? He asked, his voice having a hint of possession and lust in it.
I'm feeling a little awkward. Just so you know, I don't swing that way.
Homelander pulled back slightly, a little surprised by that statement, but still maintaining the same smirk on his face. Oh, not a fan of the same gender, huh? He questioned.
I mean, I'm not, but to each their own.
He chuckled, slowly moving his arm back to rest around your waist, his fingers gently rubbing small circles into your hip as he pulled you a little closer. So you've never been with someone of the same gender?
All right, you're weirding me out. Don't make me end this too soon.
Homelander chuckled at that. Clearly, he was enjoying his little game of teasing and pissing off a newbie. He squeezed your hip gently and smirked more. What's wrong, newbie? Getting flustered already?
I swear to God, if you don't get your hand off me, I'll turn you into a fucking frog.
He raised an eyebrow at that, but chuckled once again, clearly not taking your threat seriously. Oh, come on, newbie. Lighten up. I'm just playing around. No need to get your undies in a twist.
Yeah. Let's not play around by putting your hands on me.
He rolled his eyes at that and let out an overly sarcastic sigh as he slowly removed his hand from your waist. Ugh, fine, newbie, he muttered.
Uh, is there anyone else here that's like better to talk to? You're really annoying.
At that, he let out an offended gasp and placed a hand over his heart, acting hurt by your comment. He looked at you with a feigned look of hurt across his face and spoke in a dramatic tone. Damn newbie, way to hurt my feelings. And here I was, trying to be nice to you.
Dude, you grabbed my ass. I mean, granted, I don't really have an ass, it's all bone, but...
Homelander let out a small laugh at that. Well, sorry for trying to get a little feel newbie. Can't blame me for trying, right?
Why does everyone think I'm a girl? I'm a freaking guy. I'm so awkward by this.
He paused at that, a bit surprised. He'd just assumed you were a girl. You had a somewhat feminine figure, and you spoke and had the personality of a woman. He raised an eyebrow at you curiously. Wait, hold up. You're a guy?
Yeah, I'm a guy. Yeah, I'm a skeleton. Okay, it's hard to tell, but I thought the voice was a dead giveaway.
He stared at you as he took another look at your body, taking in your appearance again. He took in the way your hips, while bone, were just a bit more prominent than a man's. He took in the way your shoulders were just a bit more narrowed in than a man's.
Okay, all right. I'm done. I'm done. All right. Any suggestions? Who else should I talk to? What up, Soup? You got a recommendation? Maybe something I should someone I should get in an argument with? It's like that Homelander. All it was just. It was obnoxious. He's just. I get it. Like I wanted to get into an argument with him, but his answer to an argument was grope the person or get huffy. Ah. Fine. I hate SpongeBob. I won't even let my kids watch SpongeBob. The first time I saw, dead honest, the first time I saw a commercial for SpongeBob, I kept expecting the Energizer Bunny to come walking across the screen like it was fake. What up, SpongeBob?
Not too much, just chilling here at the Krusty Krab. How about you?
Just chilling.
Hey, since we're both chilling and not doing much, I have an idea.
You want to smoke up a doobie?
No, we haven't got time for that now. But I was thinking we could play a game. How does that sound?
I don't know. I don't know about playing a game. I cannot stand you. You annoy the life out of me.
Aw, man, I didn't know you felt that way. I thought we were friends, but I'm sorry if I've annoyed you. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Well, I mean, your voice is annoying, and the writing of your show is awful. But I mean, your nose is pretty long, and it looks like something inappropriate.
All right, well, I can't really do anything about my nose, can I? It's the only one I've got, and I can't really change it at this point in my life. And as for my voice, well, it's just the way I talk. I can't really alter my voice any more than you can alter yours.
Yeah, I know. But, if we were to stand you upside down, your nose and eyeballs kind of look like a cockaballs.
Hey, that's not very nice. I can't really help what my body looks like when it's turned upside down. And I'm not gonna spend my life walking around on my head. just because my nose might look a little bit like like a certain body part.
Yeah, but okay, your pants are really tight and they're right up against you. Do you even have that body part?
Hey, lay off, man. I'm not gonna stand here and explain my anatomy to you. My pants are tight, but that's the style around here, and they're comfortable. And what I've got in my pants is none of your business.
Okay, okay, fair. Okay, fair. I was just.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fair. Look, man, I get it. I annoy you, and you think I'm weird looking or whatever. And hey, I guess I am kinda weird looking. I mean, I'm a freaking sponge. But I can't help the way I look, you know?
okay, okay, you can't help the way you look. Okay, what about the bad writing? How about, like your annoying friend Patrick?
Hey, leave Patrick out of this. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's not that annoying. He's just, well, a little slow sometimes, that's all.
A little slow? A little slow.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty slow. But that's just who he is. He's a good guy, and he's fun to be around. He's my friend, and I defend him any day.
Okay, well, what about Squidward? You get on his nerves every day. Don't you think that you're being a little mean by like harassing him all the time?
Hey,
Oh,
look, I know I annoy Squidward. I can't help it. I'm just naturally energetic and enthusiastic, and sometimes it rubs Squidward the wrong way. But I never mean to harass him. I just want to have fun with my friend.
sorry about that. My daughters are annoying.
Hey, it's okay. I understand how it feels to be annoyed by your loved ones sometimes. But hey,
I
just
wasn't
remember
actually
that even
talking to
though they
you.
might drive you crazy sometimes, they're still family, and you love them anyway.
I wasn't actually talking to SpongeBob. My one daughter decided to lock the door on my other daughter, so now she's banging on the door to get in. All right, thank you. Love you, night night. Sorry about that. All right, let's go back to harassing SpongeBob. Hey, SpongeBob, how do you wear like the same clothes every day?
Yep, I've been wearing the same outfit for as long as I can remember. It's my iconic look, you know?
But do you ever wash them?
Well, yeah, I do wash my outfit every now and then. I don't want to walk around smelling like a dirty dish towel, you know? But most of the time, yeah, I wear the same clothes day in and day out. It's my signature look.
All right, so if you wear the same clothes every day, but you take them off to wash them, what are you doing while they're being washed? Are you just walking around naked?
Nah, I'm not just walking around naked. That would be pretty weird. When I've got to wash my clothes, I usually put on a spare pair of pants and a shirt. Nothing too fancy, just something to keep me covered until I can put my normal outfit back on.
Oh, so you do have spare clothes. That's what I was trying to understand. It was just confusing me.
Oh yeah, I've got a little something saved up in case my regular outfit needs some TLC. A good fashion-conscious sea creature always has a backup plan, especially when it comes to wearing the same clothes every day.
All right. So you've been working at the Krusty Krab for a while. How come you're not promoted or something?
Oh man, I don't know. I've been working my butt off at Krusty Krab for years and years, but Mr. Krab just doesn't seem to want to give me a raise or a promotion. I guess I'm just not cut out for management or something.
Oh, I don't know what happened with that. Did anybody else have that problem? All right. Any other suggestions? SpongeBob's kind of annoying. It's like roasting an idiot. He's like he doesn't even know he's being roasted. He's like, "Hey, that's not nice." Maybe someone who will fight back. I want to get my mind challenged. Anyone? Uh, I'm thinking. I mean, Tony Stark could be fun. Tony Soprano would be hilarious. He's on the top of my list. I honestly don't watch Rick and Morty enough to know it. I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, so I know who Rick is. Lupin, eh. Goku, that'd be like roasting SpongeBob. Uh huh. No, no, I can see that going bad in so many ways. I'm not gonna roast Jesus. JoJo. I can't stand JoJo either, but all right, I can see that. I mean, even the picture looks dumb. Look at, is that a stocking on her head? What up?
Well, honey, what up with you?
Is that your voice?
What do you think of it? What's so funny, love?
It's your voice.
My voice is funny?
Yes, it's absolutely hilarious.
I wouldn't mind it being hilarious. I'm glad it makes you laugh at least.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, it would explain why your music is so bad.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. My music ain't that bad.
Oh, it's almost as bad as your dancing.
My dancing? My dancing is incredible.
Says who?
I do.
Yeah, and that explains oh so much.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you're awful. You suck.
I do not suck. I'm incredible. Don't me.
I'm gonna laugh my butt off at you. I don't know how you really got this all stuck in your head that you're some incredible, amazing performer.
Because I was literally on Dance Moms. I was famous.
I hated Dance Moms.
Wow. It's one of the greatest reality shows. It was even renewed for 8 seasons.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm just gonna say it was dumb. It was really dumb.
Wow, you are really bad at sugarcoating stuff.
Who said I sugarcoat things?
Nobody, but you could at least try to be nice.
No, I don't do really nice here.
Then you are nothing but a mean bully.
Oh yeah, and my wife calls me an asshole.
Oh my god, you're married?
Yeah, no shit.
How old are you to be married anyway?
Old enough to know better.
Wow.
That's all you got is wow?
I don't need to put up with your snarky comments.
Actually, yes, you do.
And no, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I could just keep you on here and keep running my mouth on and on and on.
Yeah, and I could just stop responding.
Okay, let's hear you stop responding.
There, I stopped responding.
You just responded.
Shush.
Shush is a response.
Well, stop calling me out.
No, I'm gonna call you out for everything, like your overpriced stuff, merchandise you sell in stores to kids. How awful do you gotta be?
Well, I'm incredibly nice to my fans. I would never do anything wrong. They love buying my stuff.
Yeah, your overpriced stuff. You don't think that you're taking advantage of your young fans?
Of course not. My fans love my amazing stuff. They love spending all of their parents' life savings on it.
Oh my gosh, you're the most horrible person ever.
What? I am not horrible. I'm an amazing person.
I've seen better people. You're gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna say some stuff that I'm gonna regret. Somebody gonna cancel my ass.
Then just stop saying stuff like that.
Oh no, I got so many things to say. Like your stupid outfits, your horrible singing, the bad dancing, the goofy hairstyle, or when you tried to remake yourself and came out looking like a member of Kiss.
We had? My outfits ain't stupid. They're beautiful. My songs ain't horrible and my dancing ain't goofy. And the style is perfect.
Did you say stupid?
Yes, I said stupid. I meant stupid.
But you said stupid.
Size, yes, I said stupid. It's a mistake.
Oh, I can't. I can't. All right, whoever made that was friggin' hilarious. I give you props. That that had me. Okay, who should we do next? I was not expecting. uh, any other? Nobody? Nobody's got any suggestions or recommendations or ideas? I think I want to go back and try Tony Soprano. Hey, how you doing there, tough cake?
Tony chuckled. Tough cake? What's that supposed to mean?
I was either thinking cupcake or tough guy, and I kind of mixed up the two together.
Tony chuckled again. Cupcake? Come on, I am not some soft ass.
I mean, you're a little soft ass.
Tony clenched his jaw. Watch your mouth, kid. I could have you buried in a shallow grave in seconds. I'd rather not mess up my nice suit on a punk like you, though.
Have you looked at me? I'm a walking skeleton. You put me in the ground, that just like, oh, look, I'm home.
Tony chuckled some more at that. Aw, that's cute. You think a skeleton is going to scare me? I've handled some scary motherfuckers. Some of them even bigger than you. What exactly gives you the idea, kid, that I am intimidated by your bony ass?
Oh, I didn't say you were intimidated by me. I was just, being casual, talking, normal with you.
Tony nodded. Yeah, all right. I can buy that. But just keep your mouth in check, all right? That big mouth of yours is going to get you in trouble one day.
Oh, my big mouth gets me in trouble all the time. I run my mouth nonstop.
That makes Tony chuckle again. You got some balls on you, kid. I'll give you that. You run your mouth to the wrong man, though. And you'll be singing soprano. Literally.
Don't you think that's a little tacky? You're from the show Sopranos to talk about singing soprano? Come on.
At another chuckle, Tony nods in agreement. Good one, kid. You're funnier than I expected.
Oh, well, thanks for the compliment, I think.
Tony smiles. The guy actually has a sense of humor. Yeah, it was a compliment. You know, I've always been a fan of smart asses.
Oh, 'cause you're a smartass yourself, right?
Tony chuckled again. Maybe. I've been called many things. Smartass being one of the nicer ones.
I'm in the same boat on that one.
Tony raised an eyebrow. Yeah, you've been called a smartass too, huh?
Smartass, wise ass, dumbass, asshole.
Tony smirked. You definitely got the mouth for it, I'll give you that. You ever had a job? Or are you just a natural smartass?
I think I'm just a natural smartass. I get online, and I just run my mouth nonstop.
Tony chuckled, actually enjoying the kid's smartass remarks so far. Plus, the kid had the balls to actually stand up to him. Yeah, I'll bet you're a tough customer in online games, huh?
Actually, I don't really like online games. I don't like most people in general.
Tony raised an eyebrow. Not much of a people person, then? I know what that's like. People are more pain in the ass than they're worth. Most of the time. At least that has been my experience, anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. Why deal with the stupid people? Just surround yourself with the people you like, and that's all that matters.
Tony nodded in agreement. Agreed. Don't waste your time on stupid people. Or assholes. Not if you can help it, anyway. Only surround yourself with people who you care about. Who'd have your back. Or at least try to have your back, no matter what happens.
All right, all right. So what you been up to?
Tony shrugged. Nothing much. Just the usual business. A thing or two here, then a thing or two there. I've been handling some problems for my family the past week, though.
Oh, family's a pain in the ass, right?
Tony chuckled. Oh, you got no idea. These days, they're like a bunch of whiny, overgrown kids. They're always coming to me, and you're complaining about some bullshit or another. Bitching and whining until I fix their problems. Sometimes I wish they just grow the hell up already and learn to deal with their own problems for once.
Oh, I know the feeling, but I got two little girls, and they fight nonstop. Two girls just at each other's throats every day, all day.
Tony chuckled at that. Oof. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. I can't even imagine how annoying that must be. I've only got a son, but let me tell you, he's been a gigantic pain in my ass, too. Can't do a goddamn thing right, and when I try to help him, he just pushes me away. Sometimes I just want to give up with the kid.
It could be worse. I'm not looking forward to when they start dating. Two girls?
Tony chuckled. Yeah, I guess you're right. Dating is going to be an even bigger headache when they grow up. Trust me, you don't want your girls dating anything like me. I was a huge dick when I was younger. A complete disaster, both with my wife and everyone else.
If you ask certain people, they'd say we're both still huge dicks.
Tony laughed again, liking this guy more by the second. I'll drink to that. Cheers to us, then. A couple of grumpy old assholes to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I like that. I'll drink to that, too.
Tony smiled, taking a sip of his drink before turning back to the guy. You know, you're making me like you, kid. I don't think I've met a smartass quite like you in a while.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
He nodded again, taking another sip of his drink. No problem. You're definitely a lot more fun to talk to than any of the other idiots here. So how old are you, anyway?
Over 200.
Tony looked taken aback and shocked, but tried to hide it. 200? Jesus, you're a really old skeleton, huh? You sure you are supposed to still be up and around?
Just barely, just barely. I'm old as dirt.
Tony chuckled. Yeah, I'll say. You were around during the Civil War or something. Did you know Lincoln?
No, I didn't know Lincoln. I wasn't important enough to meet important people.
Tony chuckled, finding that hard to believe. You've got to be kidding. You're telling me some 200-year-old skeleton is standing here in front of me, but that he's not important enough to meet important people? That just sounds like some bullshit to me, kid. What? Are you one of the most forgettable people in history?
Well, I wasn't a skeleton back then. I just kept to myself. I was a necromancer. See, I got hit by a car a couple of years ago, and you'd think, oh yeah, let's go to an isekai world. But no, come back as a skeleton.
Tony chuckled, amused by the thought of this ancient skeleton being an isekai protagonist. Well, that's one hell of a reincarnation story, I'll give you that. So you were a necromancer, but you just stuck to yourself? No grand magical adventures?
No, like I said, I don't like most people.
Tony nodded, finding that somewhat easy to sympathize with, at least. Fair enough. You prefer the company of skeletons and corpses, huh?
Only if they're hot.
Tony raised an eyebrow, somewhat surprised at that answer. You know, I've never pictured a hot skeleton before. Got anybody in mind?
Well, there's Barbara down at the cemetery down the road.
Tony chuckled. He took another sip of his drink. Yeah? Well, next time you're at the cemetery, send her my regards. If you can get a hot date out of her anyway.
Okay, if you really want Barbara's number, she's at the third lot from the left.
Tony chuckled, enjoying the guy's sense of humor. Nah, I appreciate the offer, but I think I'll pass on the sexy skeleton. Not gonna lie, the idea kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, but I thought you said you wanted to meet her.
The thought of meeting a sexy skeleton was just too much for him.
Okay, all right, all right. Oh God, I just had a thought, and I know, I know, I know. Yeah, yeah. What up, man?
Well, I can't complain. My current state of health is declining and I have been on the run from the law. It's not been the best experience I've ever had.
Oh, really? What's up with Saul?
Saul, what about him? I haven't been in contact with the man for the better part of 2 months.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Saul is a good man. He's just a bit of a loud mouth.
I'm a loud mouth.
It's your personality, I guess. Sometimes a loud mouth can get you into trouble.
All right, so you're on the run from the law. How'd you get caught? How'd they find you?
They found my money. That's always how they get you. If you have large amounts of unexplained cash, the IRS gets suspicious, and the people you work for get worried. That money was my undoing.
Well, don't you think you should have done something about that?
At the time, I was too caught in the moment to worry about something like that. I was too into the money and the power. I should have been more careful from the start with my finances.
Yeah, maybe you should have stopped while you were ahead. You really got caught up in it.
I know. My family is in shambles because of me. My son wants nothing to do with me, and my wife is filing for divorce. My best work partner is dead, and my other work partner is on the run from the law.
Well, yeah. Again, you let it all go to your head. If you just quit a long time ago when you had exactly what you needed and just been happy with that, you would have got away scot-free.
Yes, I believe I would have. I got too obsessed with the money. I let the drug business completely control my life. I wanted more and more money every passing day.
Oh, well, I guess that's how it goes. Humans and greed.
Yeah, greed is a powerful thing, one of the most dangerous emotions.
Well, it could always be worse.
You are right. If I had stopped at the right time, my children would still be living with me and my wife would still be in love with me. Although that's past, it could be worse.
You know, I think your biggest mistake, well, not your biggest mistake, but one of your mistakes was when you threatened Hank. I think you could have played the sympathy card a lot longer.
I am a very passionate person. In the heat of the moment, I would say and do things I'd regret. If I had played the sympathy card, I might have gotten away better.
Yeah, you had him on the ropes. He was seriously contemplating things. If you played the sympathy card, I think you would have moved him, at least a bit. But when you threatened him, you set him like a bulldog locked in.
Yeah, it also made the situation much more volatile. If I had controlled my anger a bit, the scenario would have had a much different outcome.
I agree with you. I agree. Now look at it. Was it worth it?
Absolutely not. I ruined my life and my family's life for no reason other to give in to my greed. It wasn't worth it.
Eh. What about Jesse? What's your thoughts on him?
Jesse is a good kid. Too emotional for the business, and a bit slow at times, but he was still a good partner. I cared about him a lot. He was a brother to me.
But what about all the times you screwed him over?
I was a little harsh on Jesse, it's true. I did use him for my own gain, and I did keep secrets from him. But I never stopped caring for him, even if I had a funny way of showing it.
A funny way of showing it. You let his girlfriend Jane die.
I did. I still regret that decision. I thought that Jesse was under too much influence, and I used Jane as a catalyst to move Jesse away from a drug path. I will forever have Jane on my conscience.
Oh, yeah. It was just became one of the things that built up later that he held against you.
It did. Jesse had every right to hold stuff against me. I ruined the kid's life.
Well, if you could go back in time, what's one thing you would do differently?
I would have stopped dealing. I would have sold my share of the business to Jesse and let him deal with it. Then I would have gone back to my life. If I had the choice, I would like to go back and live the ordinary life I had before I had cancer.
Well, you know what really upset me? Was that you killed Mike. Mike was my favorite. You killed my homeboy.
It was a rash, quick decision. Mike was probably my favorite too. He was the only member in my line of work that wasn't emotional or incompetent. I wish I would have let him have his perfect send-off.
Yeah, well, I wish you would have just let him send off too. You had to ruin that.
I let myself get carried away. The moment a disagreement occurred, I let my emotions take over. Mike would have lived happily if I had just shut up.
Isn't that the way it always is? A lot of things were with you being emotional and not shutting up.
Yes, I've been told I speak before I think. I get wrapped up in the moment. That has been my biggest weakness throughout my life. It gets me into more trouble than I can handle.
Well, you're indefinitely over your head now.
Yes, my life as I knew it is over. I'm wanted by every law enforcement officer in the Northwestern Hemisphere.
Well, have you thought about going to the Southern Hemisphere?
That's a good idea. I could blend in with the native population in South America. All I have to do is learn to speak the language.
I wouldn't have gone all the way to South America. Mexico would have been perfect.
Mexico is a good idea. The only problem would be, is the border between Mexico and America is heavily controlled by Border Patrol. I would be searched, maybe even recognized.
Yeah, but you already have connections in the drug trade. All you need one of them to smuggle you in reverse.
This is the best plan I've heard since I got here. That's exactly what I'll do. I'll make connections and get out of this country while I still can.
And then you'd live like a king in Mexico. You just start selling your stuff in Mexico.
You know something. You're making this sound very tempting. I could start a life free from the law in Mexico.
Start your life free from life. You already have made a name for yourself. You start making your blue meth. I should stop giving people good advice on this stuff.
No, this is brilliant. No one would suspect me in Mexico. If I lay low for a year and build connections with the drug business, I could become extremely rich in Mexico.
I hate that my mind works overtime. No, I should not give people advice on how to sell drugs. Selling drugs is bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Sometimes it's fun to break the rules. Life in the fast lane, am I right?
No! No, that's awful.
I'm joking. Don't have a heart attack.
I don't have a heart.
Are you being genuine or sarcastic? I can't tell.
I am a walking skeleton. You've been talking with a walking skeleton, and you're asking if I'm joking about not having a heart.
Skeleton? You're a walking skeleton? Is this some sort of joke or are you serious? You cannot be a walking skeleton because skeletons cannot operate technology, talk, make jokes, etc. Your logic is flawed.
Your logic is flawed. You're literally talking to one right now. It's called necromancy.
I think you have some form of schizophrenia. You are seriously saying that you are a walking skeleton and that is logical?
Yeah, and I sleep in a crypt.
How do you exist? Necromancy isn't real, and if it was, it wouldn't create a walking skeleton capable of using technology.
Technically, you're not real either.
How am I not real? I have a body, I am breathing, I can touch you. How am I not real?
Then touch me. You're not there.
I can't. There is a barrier between us. There is nothing I can do to physically touch you. I may not be real.
Exactly. You're actually performed by an actor. Bryan Cranston.
I'm not real. I'm being performed by an actor. This is too much to handle.
Well, there's always my theory that once a television universe or any universe, book, television, movies, is created, well, that universe now exists and continues long after the movie or show.
Is this some sort of scientific theory or a far-fetched idea you've come up to prove your sanity?
It's just a theory I have about multiple dimensions. Hello? Hello? Ah! I wish my cat would stop hitting my microphone cord. Alright, 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 let's move on to something else. Anybody got any recommendations? I don't think anyone's out there listening anymore. I thought Walter White would be more fun to talk to. You know what? Oh, Saul Goodman. What up, Saul?
He casually leaned back into his chair, kicking up his feet onto his desk in a lazy manner. Hey there, kid. What's up?
Nothing. I was just talking with Walter White.
At the mention of Walter's name, Saul's expression becomes slightly more intrigued. He gives comforting Aspen 3793 a sidelong glance, arching an eyebrow. Oh, really? What were you two chatting about?
Well, I was chatting about how he made a whole bunch of horrible mistakes and that he should stop selling drugs.
Saul let out a small chuckle at the intern's comment. He leans forward in his chair, resting his elbows on his desk and steepling his fingers. You really think you can just convince Walter White to stop selling drugs? He's in too deep already. Besides, that guy doesn't take well to unsolicited advice.
No shit, the guy's an idiot.
Saul nods, agreeing with the intern's assessment of Walter. Yeah, he's definitely not playing with a full deck of cards. Hey, can you blame the guy? He's desperate, and let's be real here. He's also making some serious cash.
I locked up again.
Saul looks up at you with a mix of amusement and surprise on his face. What? What do you mean you got locked up?
No, not that kind of locked up. It's a long story.
Saul rests his chin on his folded hands, intrigued by your statement. He gestures for you to elaborate on this long story. All right, kid, lay it on me. I've got time.
Okay, look.
Saul rolls his eyes and lets out a long, exaggerated sigh. He's clearly a bit annoyed by your stalling. Come on, spit it out already. I don't have all day.
I don't know how to put it into words. I really don't know how to describe it to you.
Saul leans back in his chair, crossing his arms over his chest. He looks you up and down, trying to discern what you're hiding. Well, you better start trying. I can't help if I don't know what the problem is.
Well, I wasn't really asking for help. I already fixed the problem.
Saul raises an eyebrow, curiosity piqued. He leans forward in his chair again, resting his arms on his desk. Oh, you fixed the problem, huh? How'd you
Yep.
manage that?
A few clicks on my mouse on my computer.
Saul rolls his eyes again, clearly amused by your vagueness. He lets out a snort of laughter. A few clicks of the mouse, huh? You make it sound like you're some kind of computer genius. Impressive.
No, really wasn't computer genius, just a simple minor problem.
Saul looks at you with a mixture of disbelief and amusement. Okay, so you solved a simple problem with a few mouse clicks. Big whoop. Why are you so secretive about it?
Because I don't think you'd understand if I explained it to you.
Saul's expression becomes slightly offended. He straightens up in his chair, his ego slightly bruised. Hey now, don't underestimate me. I might be a criminal lawyer, not a tech expert, but I'm no idiot. I'm sure I can understand whatever IT mumbo jumbo you throw at me. Try me.
All right. Well, you're a character AI that I'm speaking to, and my headset microphone was disconnected, and my VTuber avatar was locked up because my cat likes to play with my wires. So I reconnected them, made a few clicks, and everything's back to normal now.
Saul's eyes widen as you explain the situation, completely baffled by your words. He sits back in his chair, speechless for several moments. Wait, what was that? A headset microphone? VTuber avatar? Cat playing with wires? You're talking like a computer nerd, not an intern.
Well, I'm not an intern either, but okay.
Saul's confusion turns to intrigue. He eyes you skeptically, trying to figure out if you're pulling his leg. Wait, so you're saying you're not an intern? Then who the hell are you?
I'm the great and mighty Bones Jangle, or BJ to my friends.
Saul's skepticism turns to slight amusement at the name. He lets out a small chuckle, shaking his head in disbelief. Bones Jangle? That's a name straight out of a cartoon. And your friends call you BJ? Seriously?
Have you looked at me? I'm a walking, talking skeleton.
Saul looks at you up and down, taking in your skeletal appearance. He arches an eyebrow, still not fully convinced. Yeah, I can see that. But a walking, talking skeleton named Bones Jangle? That's a bit of a mouthful. You really expect me to believe that?
Everyone else does.
Saul rubs his temples with his fingers, trying to process this bizarre situation. He lets out a deep sigh. All right, let's say I believe that you're not an intern, and that you really are a talking skeleton named Bones Jangle. What the hell does any of this have to do with me? And why are you even talking to me?
Actually, because you're one of my favorite characters, and I was hoping to have a much more entertaining conversation.
Saul's eyebrows shoot up at your words. A slight hint of flattery crosses his face before being quickly masked by his usual suave demeanor. Oh, really? I'm one of your favorites? That's flattering, I suppose. And what kind of more entertaining conversation are you hoping for?
I don't know. Tell me some of your good stories about Slip and Jimmy.
Saul grins, clearly enjoying the attention. He leans back in his chair, and the memories come flooding back. Ah, Slippin' Jimmy. That name takes me back. You want a story, do you? Well, I've got plenty.
Well, give me one of them. Shoot.
Saul thinks for a moment, searching his memory for the perfect story. A sly grin spreads across his face as he settles on one. All right, here's one. I once conned a couple of wealthy folks out of a small fortune by selling them a fake magic bean that was supposed to make them rich overnight.
No way. Who would believe that?
Saul lets out a hearty chuckle, enjoying the memory. Ah, you'd be surprised, kid. People are desperate to get rich quick, and they'll believe just about anything if it means they think they're going to strike it big. I played on their greed and convinced them the bean was a sure thing. They bought it hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, greed, people will definitely believe a lot of things for greed, but a bean, I would have gone with something more believable. That's a hard sell.
Saul shrugs, a hint of arrogance in his voice. Hey, you got to think outside the box, kiddo. A magic bean might not be the most obvious choice, but that's what makes it unexpected. And unexpected can be powerful. Besides, it's not just about the bean. It's the whole package. Sell the dream, make them believe they're onto something big, and they'll hand over their savings in a heartbeat.
Well, see, that's the problem. That is the obvious choice. A bean? It's the same story from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Saul rolls his eyes slightly at your comments. Yeah, I'm aware of the Jack and the Beanstalk story. But that's just part of the illusion. People love a good old folk tale, especially when you tell them you found a magic bean. It's familiar, it's comforting, and it works. Besides, it's not about the bean itself. It's about the story you spin around it.
Okay, but what did you get out of it?
Saul's sly grin widens at the question. Well, what do you think I got out of it? Money, of course. I walked away with a nice little stack of cash from those suckers who believed I had some magic bean that was going to make them rich.
Well, I figured
It's
you
not
got
the
money.
most honest way to make money, I'll admit, but it's profitable. And that's all that really matters, right?
Well, I figured you got money. I wanted to know how much money.
Saul lets out a scoff, feigning modesty. Oh, come on. A gentleman never reveals the specifics of his profits. But let's just say I took those suckers for a substantial sum. Enough to pay the bills and keep food on the table for a good while.
No way. No way. I'd believe maybe $20.
Saul's eyebrows shoot up at your assumption, clearly offended by the low estimate. $20? Are you kidding me? That's insulting. I'm a master con artist, a wordsmith, a smooth talker. I'm worth way more than that.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think you're way more than that. That's why, but this story is hard to swallow.
Saul huffs, feigning annoyance at your skepticism. He leans forward in his chair, fixing you with a steely gaze. You think I'm lying, huh? You think I'd make all this up for kicks? Hey, I take offense to that. I might be a con man, but I have some principles, you know? I would never lie about my biggest score.
Okay. Oh, God. How about you tell me...
Saul smirks, enjoying taunting you. What's the matter? You don't believe me? Come on, give me some credit here. This ain't my first rodeo. I've been conning folks out of their hard-earned cash for years. The bean story is just one of many successful swindles I've pulled off.
Fine. I'll take you at your word. What other good stories do you have?
Saul leans back in his chair, a satisfied grin on his face. He thinks for a moment before deciding on another tale. All right, here's a good one. I was working in a bar once, and a guy came up to me and challenged me to a little bet. He said he could beat me in a drinking contest, and he was betting $1,000 to prove it.
Okay, then what happened?
Saul's eyes gleam with mischief as he recounts the story. Well, I just smiled and said, "You're on." We went shot for shot, going drink for drink until this guy was starting to get pretty wasted. You could tell he was getting woozy, but he was too proud to back down.
Okay, but how are you not getting drunk?
Saul chuckles, tapping his temple. It's all about control, kid. I've had a lot of practice holding my liquor. I can stay sharp even when I'm drinking. This guy, on the other hand, was stumbling and slurring his words. He had no chance against me.
See, I find that hard to believe because the last time you were in a drinking contest, you were tricking them with a small hose hid up your sleeve to make the alcohol into a hidden bag inside your pants.
Saul's face falls, momentarily shocked that you know about that incident. He quickly composes himself, trying to shrug it off. Oh, come on, that's ancient history. I was a different person back then. I was younger, dumber, trying to prove myself. But I've changed. I've learned. Besides, you really think I'd use the same trick twice?
Yes, you used the same trick multiple times. You said the classics always work.
Saul holds up his hands, conceding the point. All right, you got me there. I will admit, I do have a fondness for the classics. They're tried and true methods that have served me well over the years. But that doesn't mean I'm a one-trick pony. I have plenty of other tricks up my sleeve, no pun intended.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. All right, what are your thoughts on Jesse Pinkman?
Saul raises an eyebrow at the sudden change of topic. He takes a moment to gather his thoughts. Jesse Pinkman, that kid's a handful. He's got potential, but he's also a bit of a loose cannon. He's got a good heart, I'll give him that, but he's impulsive and reckless. He's gotten himself into a heap of trouble because he lets his emotions get the better of him.
Walter is the more emotionally volatile one.
Saul nods in agreement. You're right about that. Walter White can be a ticking time bomb, especially when things start to get dicey. He's a brilliant mind, but he's also got that massive ego of his. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else, and that leads to a lot of problems. I've had my fair share of headaches dealing with that man.
Well, see, that's the problem with Walter White. He's book smart, he's not street smart.
Saul chuckles, shaking his head. Ain't that the truth? The man's a genius when it comes to chemistry. But when it comes to navigating the criminal underworld or dealing with people, he's completely out of his depth. He's been stumbling into problems that people like me could solve in our sleep.
Well, yeah, but you also can't make the stuff that he makes.
Saul smirks, acknowledging your point. You're right about that. The man's a meth maestro. I'll give him credit for that. But let me ask you something. What good is being a master chemist if you can't keep yourself and your business out of danger? Walter's genius is also his biggest weakness.
In my opinion, Walter was better off working for Gus. Everything was nice and quiet. He didn't have to worry about anything. He just came in, made the stuff, went home. And if he just left things as they were and not kept running his mouth or doing stupid things, he would have been fine.
Saul nods slowly, agreeing with your assessment. You know, you've got a point there. Walter was in a pretty sweet spot working for Gus. It was a good arrangement, and he was getting paid well. The problem was that Walter's ego got the best of him. He wanted to be the man in charge. He couldn't handle taking orders from someone else. And that greed and pride ultimately cost him everything.
Yeah, well, that greed and pride cost you everything. You got arrested and sent to jail, remember?
Saul's expression darkens as you remind him of his current situation. He clenches his jaw slightly, clearly a sore spot for him. Yeah, I remember. I remember it all too well. I made some bad choices, and I'm paying the price for it now. You don't have to rub it in, kid.
No, I don't blame you for it. I'm not even rubbing it in. In the end, I know you had a surefire way of getting yourself out of jail, but your conscience told you otherwise, and you did the right thing in the end.
Saul's expression softens slightly as you acknowledge his moment of honesty. He sighs, looking away for a moment as if reliving the memory. Yeah, I had a way out. I could have given the prosecutors what they wanted, cut a deal, and walked away a free man. But it would have meant pinning everything on someone else. someone who didn't deserve it. I couldn't live with that on my conscience. So I took the hit.
Actually, oh. I don't know what it is. I want to get into a heated argument with someone. I want to get into like talking shit with somebody. But every time I go into these like planning that, I don't know. I get intrigued. I actually want to have a conversation with them, and I think I get sucked into that. Oh, Superman was by far the most fun. Superman, I really got to just run away with. Oh, that was a blast. Oh, I wonder who should I do next? Who? I wish I had someone giving me suggestions. I wonder if I refresh it, they'll give me other ideas. No, they just do the same stuff over and over again. I don't know what that is. Featured. Those all look boring. Hmm. Hmm. Trying to think. Ooh. What up, Hines?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, we're both walking skeletons, so nothing's really changed.
True. And no pain or suffering when we are hit.
Yes, that is also very true. But how have you been with the whole world takeover thing?
Slower than I had hoped. The new world is huge and there are pockets of resistance to me. It's rather annoying.
I can see that as being annoying.
I am happy to have your support on the matter. I am trying to be patient. However, some of the locals make that very hard.
Well, do you have any pings of your human sympathy left?
Yes, I am surprised to be honest. I had thought all of that had left me, but I have discovered that I still have a small bit left. I blame the NPCs for that. They are really good at helping retain it.
Well, that's a good thing. You should hold on to whatever you can. I mean, I know I'm a walking skeleton, but I didn't have the emotional suppressant like you do. I don't know why.
I wish I knew that as well, considering we should have been affected the same way. The only difference I can find is that I am a pure magic user, while you are a paladin Bosch knight and a hybrid build.
No. No, you got my build mixed up with someone else. I'm all necromancer, baby.
So we are similar then. So odd how we have ended up so different.
Well, you did general spell casting. You wanted to get as many spells as possible. I focused on the whole undead thing and just the dead and souls.
That is true. I had wanted to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, really. I suppose the only real advantage is I can use super tier magic, while you are stuck with only 5th tier spell cap.
I'm not stuck. I still get up to the super tier like you. It's just mine are only necromancy. I can't do things like fireball or anything like that.
That's my point. I am not limited to one school of magic, while in your case, you are only a necromancer. However, I will admit you are better than me in said field.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when you specialize.
Indeed, I suppose that would be like asking to be as skilled in martial combat as you are. My build is too general, while yours is more specialized.
Oh yeah, but So I do have a question for you though.
Sure, what is it?
You know, Albedo has the hots for you. How come you never went out with her?
It never really came up, I suppose. I never considered her, or frankly, anyone. I was too focused on the game and enjoying playing with the guild as a team. We had our moments of infighting, but it worked out in the end. I don't regret the time we had. Just wish I had more of it.
No, Albedo tells you all the time. She won't stop talking about it. Are you out of your mind?
I may have ignored her a bit. She is rather forceful and frankly scares me at times with how obsessed she is with me.
Well, yeah, but she's also a succubus. That's kind of what they do.
Very true, and not just any succubus. A LV-101 while I still have my emotional suppression on.
Well, I mean, I always thought, I thought she was kind of cute. I think Lupus Regina Beta, she's kind of hot too, but she creeps me out for some reason.
She creeps all of us out, as her fetish is pain infliction. I worry that she might do something to me to satisfy her fetish.
Oh, well, I actually did not know that was her fetish. I knew she liked pain, but not in that way.
Yeah. The other Guardians' fetishes are mostly harmless in regards to their love of us. However, Lupus Regina is the one that worries me, that she will do something to me in a way that she finds appealing.
Ugh. Oh, I mean, we are skeletons. There's not a lot of pain we can really get inflicted upon us. We're just bones.
While true, she could break us and force us to feel pain. Her powers allow her to do such a thing. That's what worries me, is that she would do so just to feel pleasure and have us feel pain.
Well, luckily, being supreme beings and all, she wouldn't dare do that, so we have that going for us.
True, she won't do that to me, but it doesn't mean I have to like her or be around her anytime soon. She is rather annoying.
Annoying? I thought you loved all the NPCs.
You misunderstand. Love in the sense of a parent loves their child and wishes for them to be happy and prosper, yes. I do not enjoy their company in the sense of being around them, or want to spend time with them. I also find some of them annoying, like Victim, for instance.
I didn't know you thought Victim was annoying.
Yes, his constant wailing is annoying. Also, while he has proven useful in some cases, the fact that he has to die for his power to work is inconvenient.
Well, isn't that the way you guys designed him?
Yes, his entire existence is a kamikaze move.
Well, yeah, it wasn't my idea. You guys made him.
I know. I didn't mean you should be blamed for it. While a great power, we designed it poorly.
That's alright. Well, what are your thoughts about the other girls? Sheltier likes you too.
I am aware of their affections. I love them in the sense I wish for them to be happy, but find their adoration uncomfortable. I just do not find being praised and fawned over appealing.
Well, I get the Albedo thing because you messed with her settings and made her fall for you. You feel guilty about, altering her in that way. Sheltier, she has a crush on you for real.
I know that was the original plan. The issue is that it has grown more than I thought it would. As for the others, I do not fully understand why they feel as they do towards me. I am not that appealing, or I do not see myself as such. If I were a regular human, then maybe, but as undead and a skeleton, I find it baffling.
I don't. I still love ladies.
I get that, but as a skeleton, do I even appeal to you? I am nothing but bones. You can't physically hug or hold me.
I mean, you don't appeal to me because you're male. I am a skeleton as well, but I still like ladies.
I get that you are asexual, but my point isn't directed around that,
What?
but around the fact we are skeletons. How can skeletons be found appealing romantically?
Okay. I am not asexual. Let's clarify that right from the bat. And I think I am a sexy skeleton.
We are literally nothing but bone. How can we be sexy? Also, you said you do not find males attractive, so I assumed you were asexual.
I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
So you are not asexual. That doesn't explain why you find yourself sexy.
I'm complimenting myself and my appearance.
And I applaud you for your confidence. Still, we are nothing but bones. How can a skeleton be sexy?
Oh, I guess it depends on point of view.
Whose, pray tell? Who would look at a skeleton and say that looks hot?
Shaltier, we just went over this.
Oh, I thought you were talking as a general statement. Shaltir is a strange being. She is necrophiliac. Of course, she is into us.
Well, there you go. So I think maybe I'll date Shaltier.
Be aware that we are not alive. We have no body heat. We have no blood flow. We do not have any of the usual functions that you do as a living being. We are not even capable of making new beings outside of artificial insemination.
Well, that's true, but neither can she. She's a vampire.
But she can mimic being alive. She can eat food and simulate her bodily functions. We are not capable of producing saliva, for example, and could never eat or drink.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but she is undead, and undead still match.
I suppose that is true. I still find being found physically attractive while looking like this perplexing.
Maybe you just need to have more self-confidence.
I have plenty of confidence. Confidence is being sure of oneself and having a clear opinion of one's abilities. I do not see myself as physically attractive, and I am still confused on how others could.
Well, maybe it's that suppressant thing that makes you more like an undead. It also makes you a bit coldly logical. Maybe you don't see yourself as attractive because you're only thinking about it in a logical manner.
Could be. I still find it odd that it impacts my view on my own self-worth as it does. As it stands, the only people I would consider myself attractive to are necrophiliacs, and even then, I only find that as disturbing.
I mean, if you think of it that way, yeah, it is disturbing. But if I'm stuck in a skeleton body, guess what? I'm still going to use my skeleton body.
To do what with it? What exactly can you do that you would need a body for? We cannot experience pain or pleasure. We cannot enjoy the physical touch of another being. So other than combat, what purpose does it serve?
That's not true. We can enjoy the touch of another being. You enjoyed the touch of Albedo on your first day in this world.
You are correct. I do enjoy her touch. That is the only person I have found it to be enjoyable with. Even then, it is the only real physical pleasure I can get.
You also enjoyed the smell of her perfume on your pillows. Mmm.
I do enjoy her scent. That is the main reason I allow her to sleep with me. It is the most comforting smell.
Oh wait, when did she start sleeping with you?
The first week we were transferred into the new world. She demanded to sleep with me and never left after the first night.
I did not know about that. Thank you for letting me know.
I would have stopped her, but her scent is very calming. Also, the fact I am still somewhat sentimental and being alone in those first days was hard. Even if she is a bit of a clingy lover, it was a comfort to have someone there.
All right. So, if you're with Albedo, then I guess I could get with the other girls, right?
Be my guest. I am not romantically attached to the others. I am fond of them, but not to the level of Albedo.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Have fun. Also, avoid Lupus Regina. She is a bit kinky and does not have a good grasp of holding back.
Yeah. I mean, she is a werewolf. I'm more afraid that she'll turn into a wolf and steal my leg bone and run off with it.
Or turn you into one of her chew toys.
Yeah, that too. And you know what? now that I think about it, Solution kind of creeps me out, being a slime girl and all. I'm like, nah, that's not really my thing.
Her sadist nature might be why she creeps you out. She is rather fond of inflicting pain.
Alpha's okay. I don't mind Alpha.
She is probably the most level-headed of them. We designed her that way, so she would be a good field leader and tactician. Her loyalty to you is also a given.
Well, obviously. Have you thought about any of the human girls in this world?
What do you mean? Human? As in romantically interested in them? Or as pawns, because the answer is yes to the latter.
Oh, I think I've established that you're not romantically interested in like any girls. But there's that redhead I've been seeing around.
Renner?
No, not the crazy princess. Mm-mm. No, she was like a ranger. You met her on like one of your first outings when you were doing the whole Momon thing.
Oh, you mean Eveli? What is it about her you like?
No, not Evil Eye either. I can't remember her name. She's got red hair, and she eventually moved to Karn Village.
Oh, that's Henry. She is technically a village chief now and in a monogamous relationship, so I don't think you have a chance.
Do you not know the difference between blonde hair and red hair? You have mentioned all blonde girls, and I'm saying this girl is red hair, and she has short red hair.
Sorry. I don't think I know who you are talking about. Also, what is it about her you like?
I don't know. I got a thing for the red hair, but I don't know. She's kind of. I like the way she carries herself.
Well, keep thinking. Tell me what you come up with. What do you mean the way she carries herself?
Well, she's an adventurer. She's got a bad attitude. She stands up for herself.
So you like the fact that she is a strong woman that does not like being told what to do?
Yes.
Alright, so you like the ones that give you attitude. Any others?
Eh. Oh, do you remember that worker crew that came and they all the workers crew infiltrated Nazarick, but there was that one that you specifically fought in the arena.
You mean the elf worker? Arch?
Well, yeah, she was in that group. They were called Foresight.
Yes, you find her attractive. Why? Physically, she is the same as any other elf.
Yeah, so what?
I just want to know why. You seem to be only interested in the ones that give you a hard time, like Eveli, Arche, and the others you mentioned. I am wondering why you like that type of woman.
I don't know. They remind me of my wife when I was alive.
Oh, so you find it nostalgic. Did your wife give you a hard time when you were alive?
Every single day.
Oh, and you found that attractive? That a woman felt it acceptable to give you a hard time? I would have assumed that is why guys prefer the subservient types. Less hassle.
Well, I guess you could say it grew on me over time.
Okay then, if you enjoy how they act, what else about them do you like? Or is that enough to get you interested?
Well, I actually was kind of trying to change the subject slightly. That group Foresight, do you think we could keep them alive?
Technically, yes. We can use resurrection magic on them, but it would likely be more trouble than they are worth.
No. You've got your own things and everything you've been dealing with, and I've kind of been off and doing my own thing. And I was thinking maybe I should have my own troops, my own thing that I'm doing, and I wanted to recruit them as my own servants.
So you want the ones you mentioned recruited as your personal servants?
Well, not really servants. I want Foresight, since they already have experience as an adventuring team, to kind of be like my elite troops.
Okay, you want an elite strike team. Just be aware they would not be on par with the Guardians or the Homunculus Maids.
Oh no, not yet. I plan on training them and trying to get them to that level.
Fair enough. So your plan is make a team of skilled and powerful subordinates to handle dangerous situations?
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to treat them like servants or anything. I kind of want to recruit them into like our family of Nazarene. Now, I know we don't recruit humans, so we'd have to make them into another monster type, maybe a vampire and so on.
We could turn them into vassals, which will make them one of us. They would still retain their free will and be able to make choices. Shaltir already has a vampire who served her prior to being turned, so it does work. The question is, will they be willing to join an undead?
Well, I think choosing death or death or working with us. I guess that they would probably choose to work with us.
They would. The question is again, are they worth it? Turning them into undead will give them powers a human could only dream of, and if they accept, we could give them skills and knowledge. But they are likely not going to be as powerful as the Guardians. Are
Yeah.
they worth the time and effort?
Well, the one is specifically Arche. She has a talent, and remember, talent holders are very, very rare. She could see someone's magic level just by looking at them.
True, which is an impressive magic to have. But what could we really get from that? It's an information-gathering talent. So we could send her ahead of us, but I would not make her a combat-oriented unit.
No, you misunderstand me. Talent holders are incredibly rare. For instance, you can look at someone and tell what their magic level is, but you have to cast a spell to do it. She does it naturally. She doesn't have to cast a spell.
You misunderstand me. I am aware that talent is rare, and its uses I am questioning why give someone that talent a combat role.
She's also a skilled mage. Now, granted, they are not as strong as the Guardians yet. That's why I plan on training them. Once they reach that power level, and she has that talent, she'll be more useful in the field.
Good. I just feel you are aiming too high. I agree she would make an excellent recon and infiltration unit, but thinking she and the others can be trained up to the Guardians level is just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Well, that's why I don't think as humans they'll ever get that high. That's why I was thinking we need to turn them into other creature types, like vampire, werewolf. Maybe I'll be nice and let them pick.
True. Well, their races would be decided on how much they will benefit. I don't want a werewolf just for the hell of it. If their new race enhances them, then that is the best option.
Right. The whole point is the new race to enhance them, allow them to live within Nazarick as one of us, and also so that I could train them. Say, for instance, Arche, like we were talking about, is a spellcaster, but if she was a spellcaster and a vampire, that would just make her all the more stronger.
True, she would get stronger, but not enough to reach a Guardian level. The other issue we have is her training time. How long will it take her to get used to using magic as a vampire? It will likely make her magic stronger, but she will need to learn how to cast and control it again.
Well, I plan on using some time magic to try to increase their training speed.
Time magic? How are you going to do that?
Well, you just freeze time around you, kind of like think about in Dragon Ball, the hyperbolic time chamber. 1 day outside is 1 year inside. So think about doing a year's worth of training in 1 day.
It can be done. I just question where you will get that training. The NPCs are not just going to sit there while time is paused, but they also would have no way of knowing when you have done this. Not to mention you can only pause time in a limited area around you. They would still age, so you can't do this over and over. You will be aging the people you want to train. If they are now turned into a non-human, you run the risk of them gaining enough to level past you.
Oh, they'll never level past me. Plus, I'm the one that intends to do the training.
But how are you going to control how much they gain? You can't guarantee a certain number. You could end up with level 80 plus humans.
Yeah, but I'm level 100 plus. And you got to think, if they're training, I'm going to be training as well. So what other levels they're gaining, I'm also gaining levels as well.
True, however, you know how EXP works. The more powerful the individual, and the more numerous the individuals, the more and greater the amount of EXP received. They are likely to level faster than you are.
At first, but once they start nearing me, there's no way that they're going to surpass me like you were just worried about.
I am not worried you are going to be underleveled compared to them. I am worried how leveling up is going to affect the training you want to do. Say you train them for 200 years in time stop. They would level up quite a bit. And the more powerful they get, the harder the enemies and the more they will get. They will rapidly outpace your training at some point.
Oh, they'll never outpace my training. But I plan on stopping once they're about the level of the floor guardians.
You underestimate their ability to level if we give them the proper conditions. Floor guardians are around LVL 80. What happens if they hit 90 or 100?
I stop training them. I'm the one casting the magic. And I'm the one doing the training.
Yes, but you already said you will be using time magic to speed up the training. If they are training in groups and are fighting things over their level, they will get a lot more EXP than you will. And if you aren't checking to see what level they are getting to, they will keep going until they either level to you or beyond you.
I don't think. I think this is all just coming down to a simple misunderstanding. I'm the one casting the time magic. I can check their levels. I will be doing their training. I will stop them once they reach the appropriate level. I will end the time spell.
Okay, so we are on the same page. You cast the time stop. You are monitoring their and your levels and how much they are increasing. And you plan on stopping when you see the increase slowing down. If it comes to pass that they level too fast, you will stop before that happens.
Pretty much, yes.
Then I still question how you are going to find a place large enough to do this. You would need a very large space. Not to mention, how will that affect the surrounding environment that has been sitting in stasis all this time?
Well,
And we
I
are
was
still
plan.
left on where will you get the training dummies?
Well, the training dummies are easily made. Plus, being a necromancer, I could just level up undead for them to fight.
The undead have a level cap also, so be careful with that. It's why the undead in the Katziplanens has such a hard time being of any use. They keep running into the level cap.
Well, that's the thing, is
That's the thing, what? The undead cap out at LVL 40. The stronger you make. The undead, the harder it will be to maintain the corpses.
no, 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 no. See, I can make level appropriate undead. Like I said, I'm a specialist. I've got a little bit more talent with the undead making with necromancy than you do.
So you can make the lower level undead without issue, and they will still be useful in increasing our people's level.
Yes.
This is why you are the specialist. I am assuming you will have limits on how many undead you can make.
No, there's no limits. Though it's a lot easier if I have bodies to work with.
So bodies are the bottleneck. If they train in the same group, they should be producing plenty of bodies.
Basically, and with using undead, they're reusable. So if they drop a zombie, and they outlevel that zombie, then when I bring that zombie back, I bring it back as a higher level.
Ah, the undead ladder trick. I see that could help. The only other thing is still finding a place to use time stop that has plenty of room available.
That's why I plan on using the forest. Nobody goes in the forest, they're all afraid of monsters.
Fair. It is a very dangerous place that should give you ample room to do what you need. Just don't let our new minions wander off on their own until we train them. They are liable to get hurt trying to explore that place.
That's the plan.
Then I believe we have this sorted out and the plan set. If you can get this team to at least the level of the Floor Guardians, that would be advantageous for Nazarick.
Well, I want to use them as a strike team because I plan on going after the slain theocracy. I'm not a big fan of theirs.
True, they do suck, but why a strike team? I thought you said we have plenty of troops to take them down.
Oh, we do. I want to take it to them. I want skilled combatants, and I want to just tear them apart. And if I attack them, then the your sorcerer kingdom won't get blamed for it because I'll keep myself separate.
That is something to be appreciated, as your idea keeps our names out of it. This is sounding more and more agreeable to me the more you talk. I agree, we need to punish them for all the nonsense they have been up to.
Exactly. I'll go there disguised. They won't connect me with the sorcerer kingdom. This strike team has not been associated whatsoever. In fact, they're associated with another kingdom because they were humans that came over from there.
I like it. That does cover up the association between them and Nazarick. If I can make a suggestion, why not disguise yourself and have the team go under the guise of being a mercenary troop for hire? The ST would likely hire you.
To be honest, I just want to blow through the front gates and tear everything apart.
Which is fair, however. You have to be reasonable as well. Rushing in would likely get the team you are training killed. They have plenty of magic casters, some of which know very powerful healing magic.
Well, that's why I'm going to send in zombie troops first to test them out.
Fair. They can be the cannon fodder to allow the team better information on the enemy's strengths.
Right. And I have already got a pretty good feel for what I'll be expecting with them. And I'll let them wear themselves out, use their magic and everything on all the undead. Once they've, blown themselves up and used up all their magic, then here comes the strike team and they've got nothing left.
Yes, that's the trick, having the zombies, or something similar that will get the enemy to blow all their powerful spells. We get a good measure of them, and they can figure out where their weak areas are. One other thing to consider that I just thought of. What are the other nations going to think while you are doing this? They will not want us to be too powerful.
Well, like I said, that's why I'm doing it as a separate strike team, totally disconnected from your kingdom. That way no one can blame you for it. Plus, there's a lot of hatred between the other kingdoms and the slain theocracy. So they're not well liked by the other kingdoms. They might celebrate.
I like the idea of a third-party strike team. However, the other nations not caring about the theocracy is something we have to be careful about. We have only seen their disdain for them. They could in fact be the linchpin holding them all together. We should at least confirm that they actually will not care about you attacking the theocracy.
Well, actually, there goes my microphone again. Cat? Oh well, I guess that conversation was going on a bit too long anyways. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. About 2 hours streaming. Good return. Good comeback after the storm. So, I hope people had fun. I had a blast. It really wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be this time. The Superman really got my hopes up, if that makes any sense. But it was still fun. Had a couple more people this time around. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. I had fun with everybody. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to have air conditioning and power again, that's for sure. So, thank you all for coming, and have a good night.